Masters Vessel Classical Academy, Primary Section. On the roll.
Hello, peoples at home. How are you doing? I hope all of you are well. We have a civic education for primary 4. And before I go to the topic, I'd like to tell you my name. My name is Mrs. Korie Ifeyinwa. Mrs. Korie Ifeyinwa. Remember I said our subject is a civic education. And our topic here says, need for national values in the society. Can you say it after me? Need for national values in the society. Objectives. By the end of the lesson, the pupils should be able to, number 1, mention the names of some Nigerians that have national values. Number 2, list out the names of nationalists with civic values that fought hard and won the political independence of our country. Number 3, explain at least 3 needs for national values in the society. Before we go to our today's lesson, I would like to review the previous lesson you had before we went for holidays. Before you went for holidays, you did a meaning of national values. Meaning of national values and its examples. And you are made to understand that national values, or you can also call it civic values, are good qualities, attitudes, virtues, or behaviors that are expected of good citizens of a nation. Those qualities, behaviors that you should have that will make you to be a good child. When you have these qualities or behaviors, people will see you as a good child. They make you to be a good child. Now, can you give me some examples? You know them. Just mention them. Here we have obedience. We have loyalty, dedication, honesty, hard work, patriotism, respect, and so others. So these are what we call civic values or national values. Now, let's go to our today's lesson. Can you tell me that topic again? Need for national values in the societies. Very good. So these national values, do we need to have them as a child? Do we need them as a child? The answer is yes. But before we go to the need for national values, I would like to tell you some Nigerians that have these national values. And because they have national values, we now know them as good people, because they have these national values. We now know them as good people, because when you have these national values, people will know you as a good person. One of them is late Professor Dora Akunyene. This is a woman. Remember what we used to say, as the saying goes, that whatever a man can do, that a woman can do, or even better. This is a woman, late Professor Dora Akunyene. This woman has the highest awards in the world, in the whole world, but she's late. Late here means she's dead. So she's a woman and she has the highest awards in the whole world because she has these national values. Then number 2 is Professor Wole Soyinka. Professor Wole Soyinka. Number 3 is Alhaji Balarabe Musa. Alhaji Balarabe Musa. Number 4, you have late Professor Chinua Achebe. Late Professor Chinua Achebe. Number 5, you have Alhaji Aminu Kano, plus many others. It's not only them. There are other Nigerians that have these national values. And because they have these national values, people now see them as good people. Anywhere you mention their names, they know them as good people. So there are also some nationalists with civic values. These people, they fought hard and won political independence of our country. They have these civic values also, and they fought very hard to make sure that we have our political independence today. They include number 1, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Number 2, you have Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Number 3, you have Alhaji Tafawa Balewa. Alhaji Tafawa Balewa. Then number 4, you have Alhaji Ahmadu Bello. Alhaji Ahmadu Bello. So all these people, they have these civic values, and they fought and made sure that we had our independence. There is need for these national values in the society. There is need for national values in the society. Because when we have these national values in the society, there will be peace. So everybody needs to have these national values as a citizen for the nation to be a good nation, and also that for peace to reign. We should possess these national values as a citizen. Then what are the needs for these civic values or national values in the society? What are the needs? Number 1 need is that civic values help to promote true democratic practices, because citizens, knowing the importance of good governance, will participate in political affairs of the country, like voting the people into government. What did I say? I said that one of the needs is that civic values help to promote true democratic practices, because citizens, knowing the importance of good governance, will participate in political affairs of the country, like voting people into government. Then number 2 need. Civic values will make one to know his rights, responsibilities, and limits as well. When you have these civic values, it will help you to know your rights, responsibilities, and limits as well. Then number 3, civic values will help in making people live together in peace and unity. Remember, I've said it before. If you have these civic values and the other person has the civic values also, there will be peace and unity in the country. Number 4, civic values help in bringing about both economic and social development. People will be willing to pay their taxes and raise, because they know that government will use the money in providing social amenities. I'm sure you understand what I said. I said civic values help in bringing about both economic and social development. And I said that people will be willing to pay their taxes because they know that government will use the money in providing social amenities. Then number 5, civic values equip citizens with sound knowledge, right attitudes to life, and good work ethics. Civic values equip citizens with sound knowledge, right attitudes to life, and good work ethics. I hope you are following. It is here that we come to the end of the lesson. Before I give you assignments, I would like to go back to what we have just done now. Remember, I said that the topic is what? Need for national values in the society. And remember, we before we went to that need for national values in the society, I first of all mentioned the names of some Nigerians that have these national values. And because they have these national values, people now know them as good people, good citizens. Remember, if you have these national values, people will know you as a good child. That's why you need these national values. Remember, we mentioned their names. Number one, I said number one was late Professor Dora Akunyere. Remember what I said, that she got in the whole world. She's the woman that has the highest award in the whole world, not even in Nigeria, in the whole world. Then number two, we have Professor Wole Soyinka. Professor Wole Soyinka. Then number three, we have Alhaji Balarabe Musa. Number four, we have Alhaji Aminu Kanu. Then the last person here is a late Professor Chinua Achebe. Then again, I told you that there are some nationalists that have these civic values in Nigeria. They have these civic values, and they fought hard and made sure that we won our political independence in Nigeria. If not for them, I don't know what would have happened to Nigeria. But because they fought very hard as good citizens, we are able to have our independence. I mentioned their names. Number one is Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Number two, Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Number three, Alhaji Tafawa Balewa. Number four, Alhaji Ahmadu Bello, etc. We still have other people. Now, let's go to our questions. Okay, before we go to the question, remember we also talk about the need for these national values. Why we should have these national values as a good citizen. Number one, I said that it helps to promote through democratic practices. Then number two, civic value will help one to know his rights, responsibilities, and limits as well. Number three, it helps in making people live together in peace and unity. Number four, it helps in bringing about both economic and social development. Then the last one, it equips citizens with sound knowledge, right attitudes to life, and good work ethics. Now, take your assignment. And this assignment, make sure you do it very well. Number one assignment says, mention the names of 3 Nigerians that have civic values. Mention the names of 3 Nigerians that have civic values. Remember, I gave you up to 5 names. Just mention only 3. Number 2, mention 3 nationalists with civic values that fought hard and won the political independence of our country. Mention 3 nationalists with civic values that fought hard and won the political independence of our country. Number 3 question. Explain 3 needs for civic values in our society. Explain 3 needs for civic values in our society. This is where we call it a day. Children, as you are at home, remember that coronavirus is real. Make sure you stay safe. And make sure you don't give daddy and mommy too much trouble. Don't give them trouble at all. Till we meet again, I still remain your Primary 4 teacher, Mrs. Korie Ifeyinwa. Goodbye.